What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got some awesome topics for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're starting off with the absolutely crazy tear that the Nintendo Switch is on in Japan. Honestly, I haven't seen anything like this in quite some time. The Nintendo Switch is doing extremely well. We've got some new sales numbers in addition to software for the country of Japan. So let's go ahead and get right into it here. So Famitsu has published its estimated physical game sales software and hardware data for Japan for the week of November 25th, 2019 through December 1st, 2019. We've got a brand new game, SD Gundam G Generation Cross Race was the best selling new release for the week, launching with 64,538 retail sales across the PlayStation 4 and 45,282 sales on the Nintendo Switch for a nice total of 109,820 opening sales. Also new last week was Atlas and Vanillaware's Dramatic Adventure 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim for the PlayStation 4, which absolutely looks beautiful, by the way. That launched at 34,608 retail sales. Now, topping both new titles as the #1 game sold across in Japan for the whole country is Pokemon Sword and Shield, dropping a nice 275,959 retail copies. Oh my gosh, man, that is a lot in like its third week and all that. So let's go ahead and move on to the hardware side, guys, because the hardware was massive for Nintendo. So the Switch family of systems sold another 186,763 units. The past 3 weeks have been pretty much 180, pretty much just about that. Plus, Nintendo Switch has sold like nearly like 500,000 units in the past 3 to 4 weeks, pretty much right there. That's nuts. That's absolutely crazy. And it's not even the peak holiday season yet in December for Christmas and all that. Now, the PlayStation 4 came in with 8,617 units, which is obviously nowhere near as much, got outsold by more than 100,000. And the Nintendo 3DS is pretty much on its way out with a small 1,580 units. And the Xbox One, well, it almost hit 1,000 units total for the week. So you guys can see all of the different sales here. I do want to point out a couple different things in the top 10. It seems like Nintendo Switch, in terms of the evergreen status of certain games, right? Look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at number 9 with the nearly another 10,000 units. Also Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, once again, that game pretty much going on its year anniversary, and it's at the top 10. I mean, that's just nuts too. Also looking at Luigi's Mansion, Ring Fit, a lot of games still kind of keeping on in that top 10. And even a game that didn't necessarily debut the highest with Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, that game's continuing to tack on a good 8 to 10,000 units every single week since its launch. So also that, not the biggest launch, but at the same time, it's kind of staying up there. And I think that that game could go up as we reach more towards the Christmas and peak holiday season. But just to see the Nintendo Switch do so well with, I mean, Pokemon is just absolutely killing it. And if you look at the breakdown is 111,621 units for the regular Switch in Japan for the past week, and 75,142 units for the Switch Lite. So the Switch Lite is literally factually increasing sales quite a bit, because I don't think we'd see that extra 75,000 if it wasn't for the cheaper price of the Switch. I think we'd probably see about maybe half of that, so people are literally buying secondary Switches. People are buying it because of that, on top of the great software like Pokemon and like Gundam that just came out, and like Luigi's Mansion and Ring Fit. Now, another thing to note is that Ring Fit is extremely like hardware supply, like, oh my gosh, they are like struggling to kind of keep up the supply because Nintendo didn't expect that game to be super successful with their other types of initiatives like Labo and stuff like that. They've always kind of overproduced and then had a bunch of them lying around in stores, but Ring Fit is different. That game's actually moving units and kind of caught Nintendo off guard a little bit. On top of that, it's actually a lot to produce. I mean, it's like a weird ring thingy and all that. I don't know if you guys have seen Ring Fit being played before or what it is, but make sure you guys check it out. Producing that is probably a bit weird too, but either way, they need to catch up with the supply on that one. Hopefully they do. And Nintendo did apologize for there being some issues with the supply with Ring Fit. But it's also good to see Luigi's Mansion continue to sell a steady 20K plus every single week in Japan. That game with digital is probably over 300,000 plus. Same with Ring Fit as well. So overall, Nintendo Switch is absolutely killing it in Japan. No systems even coming close. And even if you look at the peak different systems in the past, the PlayStation or the Wii and all that, the Nintendo Switch is literally selling right up there with it, if not more. It's actually doing better than what we saw sometimes with the Nintendo 3DS when it had its peak games. So it's going to be pretty good here. I think Nintendo's doing pretty well, and this Christmas should be massive for them as they head towards 50 million, or pretty much past 50 million, as they kind of blow past 50 million at this point and head towards the fiscal year endings. Well, first they have the quarterly reports, which is going to be at the end of December, and then they have the fiscal year ending report in March. So I think that the investors are going to be quite happy with the numbers that they do put up. So what do you guys think about all the different numbers here with the Nintendo Switch and the Famitsu sales? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. All right, moving on to some more sales data. We've got some new stuff coming out from the Atlas camp. So Persona 5 worldwide shipments have topped 3.2 million, and Persona 5 Royale Japanese shipments have topped 400,000. So another big, I would say, milestone. Yeah, definitely a big milestone for Atlas and the Persona franchise. Now, in total, the series has sold more than 11.1 million units. Now, Persona 5 first launched for the PlayStation 4 and the PS3, which a lot of people don't remember, but it came out to the PS3 as well in Japan in September 2016. So it's been a little bit, followed by the Americas and Europe in April 2017. Persona 5 Royale launched for the PlayStation 4 on October 31st, 2019 in Japan, and we will be getting that game on March 31st, 2019 here in the West. So I'm actually a big fan of the Persona franchise. I do love the games. I love Persona 5. It's phenomenal, and having them have success here is actually pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool to see that they're doing well with this, and Atlas for sure is going to have some more success when Persona 5 Royale launches here in the West, because there's going to be a lot of people buying that special edition and everything that they do here. So they're definitely milking Persona as far as they can take it, but I would too, because Persona 5 is an amazing game and it took them forever to develop it and release it. So it makes sense on that front. And before anybody in the comment section starts talking about a Switch version or whatever the case is, they've got to deal with Sony. All right, so Sony's got an exclusive deal. So that's what's going on there, and that's pretty much the end of it until that deal runs out, or until whatever the case is, or until the next one. That's what's happening with that for right now, at least. So what do you guys think about the sales here for Persona 5 with the worldwide shipments and everything? Persona 5 Royale, you guys excited for that one? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, now let's move on to some US sales for the Nintendo Switch, because this number is absolutely insane. So the Nintendo Switch sold more than 830,000 units over the Thanksgiving week in the US. I repeat, the Nintendo Switch sold over 830,000 units over the Thanksgiving week in the United States. This is the single best week of US sales in Nintendo Switch history. More than the launch, more than 2017, more than 2018, more than Smash Brothers and all the other games that had come out before it. This is the best launch. Now, the total sales of the Nintendo Switch in the Americas have topped 17.5 million units. Nintendo Switch is doing absolutely amazing. And like I talked about in a video earlier, I think 50 million by the end of the year, easy. 100 million by the end of the lifetime, definitely going to be happening. So it's really cool to see the Nintendo Switch continue to do so well. And it once again proves that software is king out of anything. System specs and all that stuff is awesome and it's great. And obviously it's a part in terms of how you design your system and what you do. But if you have software, if you have games that people want to play, there are going to be a lot of sales, and the Nintendo Switch is 100% proof of that concept. Now let's talk a little bit more about how the Nintendo Switch kind of did this with the holiday season, and obviously it's Pokemon. Pokemon is the driving factor for the Nintendo Switch, in addition to the Nintendo Switch Lite. Those two things, Pokemon, Nintendo Switch Lite, amazing software lineup, That's what got it to the place where it's at right now at this point. And it's pretty crazy. I'll be honest here. Nintendo has to be ecstatic with that. Nearly a million. 170,000 units away from 1 million in a single week over the Thanksgiving period. That is phenomenal. And I'm pretty sure Nintendo's just like, wow, we did what? But once again, Pokemon, Nintendo Switch Lite, the software that it's already had, Luigi's Mansion, Ring Fit, all of these games kind of play its part. I also think like Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, that game did like over 3 million in like a couple weeks, right? So I'm pretty sure that game's been picking up steam. Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, it's just something that's just different and people are gravitating towards it like crazy. So pretty nuts to see, but I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on this when it comes to it. What do you guys think about these crazy Nintendo Switch sales over the Black Friday shopping period or the Thanksgiving week shopping period? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the final topic here, we have a little bit of, I would say, bad news for CrossCode fans because CrossCode has been delayed from 2019 to an unspecified date in 2020. So that's very unfortunate. There was a long blog post that they put up, and basically what they're saying here is that there's some issues with what they have to do, like with the frame rate and testing and all of that. And yeah. But they did particularly talk about the Nintendo Switch version of the game and kind of what they're doing. So they said, how can we not mention the Switch? Well, we're doing it now. We're focusing on the Xbox right now for no specific reason, but just to focus on one platform. Technically, with the way the interpreter is working, the step to other platforms is rather easy. From there, okay, for the Switch, we need to do some further optimization, but that's, compared to the rest, just some minor stuff. After that, we'll just need to pass the certifications. So they say, when will CrossCode release on consoles? We'll announce that once we have a fixed date set. Expected announcement on a rather short notice here, as we are obviously also in discussion with platform holders about that. To shorten the wait, they prepared a small trailer for now. So you guys are checking out that trailer, and that's unfortunate that CrossCode won't make it into 2019. But to be honest, man, there's enough games that already released in 2019. There's a lot of stuff that I need to catch up on, and CrossCode is a game that I'll definitely be checking out. This game is going to do extremely well, and they know that a lot of Switch owners are very excited and interested in this type of game. We've had other games come up with this really cool pixel art style, but to see the type of action that CrossCode has combined with the art style anywhere that you want, that's a recipe for success, right? Like if you look at games like Enter the Gungeon that sold over 1 million on the Nintendo Switch, or Overcooked, games that sold 1 million on the Nintendo Switch, or you know, all these little smaller indie games that are really addictive have done extremely well on the Switch. So they know that that's pretty much where they're going to be making a majority of the money on with CrossCode is going to be Switch players out there. The system is hot right now. And so yeah, they need to definitely make sure that they mention the Nintendo Switch version, because that's going to be the best selling version in my opinion. But yeah, pretty cool to see this update on CrossCode. Unfortunately, it was delayed, but at the same time, you got to make sure everything's quality and everything's, you know, ready to go. So it makes sense to me that they're going to delay it. So what are you guys' thoughts on all the different gaming news here, from the Famitsu sales in Japan to Persona 5 and of course CrossCode? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let us know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.